come with the house, a man not so new as ignored. The gardener had a leaf blower. The plants weren't a problem, but the grotesque tree shed, brown leaves long as shoes, got shuffled around the walkways until the nameless gardener came to blow them out of sight. They disappeared just as the gardener disappeared, week to week. Sometimes Mimi heard the hacking cough of his truck, sometimes his blower. Today she had heard nothing. There was nothing much to blow away, nothing dead in the pool. But the slack hose jumped, distended, and withdrew around the house, followed by the sound of water. It had to be the gardener. Mimi went to see, and, yes, it was the gardener misting the front of the house. He had nodded at her. What was wrong with him? Didn't he read the papers? Someone, not Mimi, not today, would have to tell him there was no more work here. She walked back to Stetson, enjoying the katak-katak of her shoes against the stone terrace, a sound both slutty and indulgent, right out of the movies. But wasn't Mimi right out of the movies? She was pretty enough. Everyone said. "Does this really feel like home to you?" he asked. "Yes," she said, and she adjusted the chair to lie flat, eyes closed, given over to the liquidy heat lapping her pale body. "We weren't married long enough for anyone to believe I loved Arnie," she said, "but I did. He made me laugh. Honestly. Aren't you hot?" She sat up, wiped her eyes, and walked into the pool. "Come in with me. The water's cold, but you get used to it." If his sister was thin, he was thin, too, jailbird sickly, with his arms held up as he waded in, testing. The pool was not very deep, which might explain the slightly yellow color of the water. And the sky, too, was a creepy kind of yellow, a spreading dread. "Do you think—" she began and didn't finish. She said, "The gardener's hosing down the house. When's the last time this pool was cleaned?" Stetson treaded water and looked around him. "Just the color," he said, which, along with slimy tiles, was sickening. And he did his swimming, such as it was, in the middle. He dived under, he made a few strokes down and back. Only the tiles along the ledge of the pool seemed unclean, and he avoided the ledge until the last minute when he lifted himself out. "Hey," she said, "where are you going?" "Inside." In the kitchen, he refilled his glass and drank enough to fill it again before he set it on the counter. His medicine made him thirsty. Mimi came up from behind him, and he flinched at her touch. Water splattered against the windows. The gardener was close. "You don't get it." "I do," she said. "You're sober, and I'm not." He said, "That's right." Then he took up his glass and walked down the hall into the bathroom, where a clunking noise signaled his intention to shower. From the looks of the soap, discolored, cracked, no one had used the downstairs shower for some time. Tepid, reddish water pooled at his corpsey feet, and the clunk of the pipes when he turned off the water echoed, sounding spooky. He couldn't do much with a hand towel, and his long hair dripped onto his collar and down the back of his white shirt. At least he felt cool. At least dressing and the hotter prospects of the hours to come didn't dismay him. But his sister, just getting past her was hard. Mimi stood, almost as he'd left her, in the kitchen, listening to nothing he could hear. But her expression suggested the sound grated. "What is it?" "You don't hear that?" "Not the pipes. There it is again." All he heard was the high-pitched present. "Stay," she said. "I can't," he said, and said again to himself as he backed onto a steep road that wound through the dry brush, down the hillside, past other drives and tucked-away houses. The houses he could see were messy blots on other hills, expensive blots. Stetson didn't have much money, but whose fault was that? He knew that's what his sponsor would say. Why not?